Hello, and welcome to 97.9 Unity Radio, the best MMA show in all of the 508, and I would say basically Central Massachusetts alone. This is the MMA Report, Frosty Talk, and I'm the best podcast radio host in the universe, Steve Cully. With me, as always, my cohort. All he does is teach. Well, no, he trains first, then he teaches class, and then he just beats ass. Tyler, the Marauder King. Tyler, it's great to see you.
Great to see you.
You turned your hat backwards. I thought you were going to make a statement. There it is.
What statement needs to be made? What statement needs to be? Because you know what? The people have spoken.
The people have spoken. The people have spoken.
And wow, we have a couple conflicts starting to die down a little bit. Man,
that's all it took.
That fascist is really ending the world.
It's all it took.
So many wars. I mean, all these wars, dude. It's a bloodbath out there. All these wars ending.
Yep. And I wish that he would investigate the Biden administration, because I believe that they knew this guy was incompetent and off his rocker for years. And they just let it go.
Of course they did, but the problem was they had money they had to get from Congress to send to Ukraine, so all the top level Democrats could embezzle and F-ton of it. So
yeah, and then the deal with the sun.
The dominoes have already started to fall. There's a reason they tried to assassinate President Trump twice. I mean,
twice.
Think what you will about his past. Judge him by every little soundbite you hear. But 2016, I very admittedly heavily was not a big Donald Trump fan in 2016.
Really?
I saw what he did when he got in office. I saw how much my Bitcoin, how much my stock portfolio grew under Trump. I saw how cheap gas was. I saw my grocery bill steadily falling. I saw programs for underprivileged communities start to blossom and pop up.
And we produce stuff in America, too.
The narrative is wrong. The narrative is manufactured
by the media.
Exactly. Look at the results of what's actually happening and make your own assessment.
Yeah, and that's why I personally think I think everyone should have to take a test and pass a test to be able to vote.
To vote,
because there's so much ignorance out there.
I am so disappointed in New England.
Your state is ridiculous.
Oh, dude, you're so blue. I think there's 2 or 3 red counties around the area, and that's it.
And there's only 2 state senators that are Republican, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it amazes me in Massachusetts.
And here's the other thing: I'm not a Democrat versus Republican guy. I have the utmost respect for Tulsi Gabbard and Robert.
I like Tulsi Gabbard. Yep.
Robert F. Kennedy. The way they've adapted the acronym MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, I can't tell you how excited I am for Robert Kennedy to really clean up the Food and Drug Administration and actually take additives and make the FDA actually do what it's supposed to do. I'm very excited for the upcoming Trump, the second term, and everyone that wants to cry about him being sexist or anything like that. He has confirmed or appointed the first female White House Chief of Staff in United States history.
And that doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, the guy has had everything thrown at him. He's been impeached twice, lawsuits filed against him. They tried to get him off the ballot in some states. it's just unbelievable the lengths that people went to go after this man. And God bless him for not giving up, not stepping down. He just kept fighting.
Agreed.
He
Hard agree.
he says he does what he says and says what he does. So I give him all the credit in the world.
That is the thing that really turned me. Like he fulfilled a lot of his promises, and the standard of living for Americans overall became better. We weren't sending $80 billion rather, to Ukraine.
Yeah, no, we weren't, and it's just the way everything happened. I don't think Kamala would have gotten the nomination if it was done the right way.
No, of course not.
She would have never won the nomination.
No, of course
and
not.
She got thrust in there. She flip-flopped on. Well, I don't even know if she flip-flopped. She word saladed all her answers if you asked her about policies, and flip-flopped on everything.
She always does.
Yes.
It's that's been her MO.
But
since she was nominated for vice president.
Well, I don't think she did. She did much as vice president. Like she did very little interviews. Trump was all over doing interviews the last month. Like he didn't care. Yeah, he's like, ask me anything. And I thought that was great. And everyone's happy that it's just over, and now we can move on. And America is going to be great. So,
hopefully. I agree with you. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we're moving on. I'm glad we're moving forward in this direction.
We are. We're going in the right direction.
Yeah, like the fact that we're going to see a radical change in the FDA, and most likely, like Bitcoin made a huge jump. Stocks the Dow Jones hit another all-time high. We're in a good position right now, and like standard of living should become cheaper and better for all Americans.
Exactly. And that was the one thing, as you know, from being on Rebel Republic, Frank had been infuriated about inflation, and we should see that go down. The economy's going to improve, and, people are going to be able to afford to live. He's like, with the housing costs and everything, people can't afford to live.
Steve, I fully agree with you, but our viewers didn't come in to hear about the election. They came here to hear about some hard-hitting mixed martial arts stakes.
And we're going to talk about your group, the Cage Titans. Cage Titans MMA is having a big show this weekend.
Tonight.
Tonight. Cage Titans Fighting Championship. It's the number 68. It's the last one of the year, and it's a great card. And we're starting off with John Medina versus Jacobo Apito.
Jacobo Apito.
From Back to Basics team.
Well, I mean, Jacobo's name's a little weird, but one of my good friends, love that dude.
He's got long flowing hair. I like that.
That's an old picture. That's an old picture.
That's an old picture. Okay.
He used to have like luxurious locks down his back. Now he's got a kind of buzz cut with like dyed pattern. It's actually pretty badass.
Hold on a second.
Did you lose me, Steve?
No, hold on. I put you on.
Did you put? Oh, now you're muted.
Sorry, I had to ask my dad a question. So John Medina, Jacobo. Medina's 0-3. Team Tano Blood. Wow, they got some weird team names.
Some of these are made up by the guys on the spot, so
Yeah, I got you. What do you see in this fight? I mean, they're both.
I see a resounding win for Jacobo.
He's 2-2.
Is Jacobo 2-1 or 3-1?
He's 2-2.
Oh, 2-2. Okay, sorry about that.
And Medina's 0-3.
The thing about Jacobo is Jacobo hasn't taken the
How the hell can this has got to be listed wrong? It says it's a bantamweight fight.
It is.
Medina's 135 and Jacobo's listed at 170.
Is it listed bantamweight? I
On the
I
uh,
think I thought
fighter Cage Titans website. Yeah.
that's a misprint. I think Jacobo might be a welterweight. I'm the
Okay.
hundred. Listen, dude. Like for me, as a heavyweight, as a big heavyweight, dude, anything under 170 is just like you're too. Unless your name is Ozzy Martin, you're too tiny for me to care about.
Right.
And
Right.
that's kind
I got
okay.
you.
Well, get back though. Jacobo. One of the things about Jacobo is he two things about him. One, he hasn't taken the standard um formula for most guys who are coming in the pros. He's been a pretty highly touted guy coming out of basically several different camps he's trained with, but he hasn't taken easy fights. Even the guys with like lopsided records like this can throw absolute bombs. And his first pro fight, which he unfortunately lost, all he had to do was take the guy down. And he does have good wrestling. I've trained with Jacobo. He has good wrestling. He could have
Oh,
taken the guy
okay.
down and tied him in a knot. Instead, Jacobo went to the middle of the ring and started throwing bombs. They played Rock'em Sock'em Robots. So same formula. Jacobo, everything I've seen, he's really matured as a fighter and he understands game planning. He could 100% just point at the ground they could throw down. But I think if Jacobo fights a smart fight, he wins going away, no problem.
Yeah, and Medina's own 3, so
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But
Like
I
I've seen Medina fight too. Medina's no slouch. He's
he
taken tough
isn't.
fights.
Oh, okay.
He's taken tough fights versus tough guys from tough
Right.
camps. It's not he's lost, but it's not like he got ran out of the building. Like this is a more competitive fight than it is on paper. And I expect really good things from it.
Got you. Got you. The next fight on the card is a catchweight women's battle at 140. Mary Rosenbeck, she's 1-1, and she's out of Militia MMA, fighting Christina Katisis.
I,
Um,
I believe I always mess it up too. And it's kind of weird because you're gonna finish saying Kastikis, Kalika.
yeah, it's
Krista, I'm really sorry.
Christina.
I'm really sorry. I'm messing up the pronunciation.
It's
But
Katisis. Is that what you're saying?
Kastikas, I
Oh,
have
I got you. I got you. Okay.
anyway.
Her team is SSF. Wow, that's an
South
interesting team name.
South Shore Sport Fighting, an institution,
Oh,
an
okay.
institution here in the Northeast.
Really?
Oh yeah, run. They have some of the best guys in the area. They've sent several guys to the UFC. The owner and coach, Bill Mahoney, absolute gentleman, absolute savage. He's one of the early no holds barred fighting guys, fighting fighters rather. He's a pioneer of MMA here in the Northeast. He's built this
Right.
team, and they're a staple in Cage Titans, and he's has some of the best guys in the area and some of the best guys in weight classes in the country and the world, guys that have gone to the UFC. They're an institution. Um, and I fought on Bellator cards with Kristen as well. She is one hell of a fighter. I'm always impressed when I watch her fight. I
Yeah.
think this will be a I'm not gonna say she's gonna run through this girl, but I really do think she's gonna have a resounding victory.
Tyler, if you're a member of a team, I was just curious, do
Okay.
they share money, revenue from
It
their
all
wins?
depends. It all depends. Like once you join the gym, you start fighting. You're a member
Yeah.
of the team. Usually,
Right.
what I would do with all my coaches and all like representation, etc. I would just pay them. If there's a gym fee, I'll pay that. But after I
Right.
started fighting professionally, I just started paying my coach a percentage of all my purses. and like a certain percentage of
Okay.
sponsorships. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I got you there. So Christina should take this one. She
I
is 1-2, and it seems like they're both newly pro fighters.
They are, and
So
like
it'll be
Christina,
good.
Christina's done nothing but take tough fights. Like I said, like
Do you know how old she is? It doesn't list her age. I was just
I
curious what
think
age
she's
range.
late. I think she's late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay. So
But like,
she's young enough.
yeah, oh yeah, like she puts together a few wins. She could find herself in one of the big shows, no problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The next bout is Aaron Tracell
Yes.
versus Marty Navis. Tracell is 5 and
Woo-hoo.
6.
This is my pick for a fight of the night. So,
Really?
oh, 100%. So Marty
Team City Young is Tracell.
Excuse me, Steve. City
Yep.
on Tong, it's tied. They are
C
an
Young.
institution.
Oh, wow.
There,
Okay.
it's an institution here in Boston, run by the great Mark Delagrade. He's a longtime Muay Thai practitioner, Muay Thai coach. He's one of the original coaches for Kenny Florian, one of the great fighters come out of the Ultimate Fighter. They've had a plethora of UFC fighters, and Coach Delagrate has coached lots of huge names in the UFC. Guys like George St. Pierre.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, guys like George St. Pierre. Who? I'm trying to remember the name of one of the other guys out of George's gym. He's done a lot of work with TriStar up in Montreal, which is George St. Pierre's home gym. Um, Tercel is one of the best athletes, in my opinion, on the scene here in New England. Like, I forget what his nickname is, but it's like very fitting. He's just explosive animal. He's the one place where he lacks a
Yeah.
little. I don't want to say lacks, but might be a little behind some of the other guys. Is the grappling department. His last fight, he fought Kyle Hill out of Nosos. Shout out Nosos. Shout out Devin Powell. And perfect game plan. Forced Aaron into the grappling realm and was able to get his back and choke him out.
So
Now,
Tyler, I'm looking at the card.
yeah,
There's several members of the SSF team.
yeah.
If you're a team member of SSF or a team member of Pena or whatever, do all those teams fight out of different gyms, or do they sometimes
Most of
are
the
they
time,
in the
like
same gym?
if it's a large association, they'll be fighting out of like different satellite gyms sometimes.
Okay, okay.
But like no, Sityodtong is about the actual Sityodtong gym in Somerville is about nah 6, 8 miles away from where I'm sitting right now. Maybe actually
Oh,
probably less. Probably about
oh
5 miles
wow.
from where I'm sitting right now. South Shore Sport Fighting is think about a 15-20 minute drive down
Okay.
93. Maybe like 30, 35 right now since it's Saturday. But yeah, like
And
locally, yeah, there'll be associations like my gym, Connors Martial Arts, my original gym. We're associated with City Tong because a lot of my coaches got certifications there. My coach John Connors and Mark Del
oh,
Grate are
okay.
very close. They train together still, so there's a lot of that association within. But getting back, Aaron Trussell,
Yeah, Marty Navis is out of the Lawson MMA.
Lozon,
Lausanne.
training under the great Joe Lozon, one of the greatest fighters, one of the best lightweights in UFC history. Most performance of the night bonuses ever at the time
Wow,
he retired.
really?
Oh, Joe
And
Lozon is an absolute was as a fighter an absolute dog in a highlight show that would bleed for days and put on these amazing performances. Now let me talk about Marty Davis. His last fight, abruptly retired off of what I believe was a win. It might have been a split decision loss. It was a close fight. He, much
six
like
and four
Ruiz,
record.
made a rash decision
Yep.
and
It's based
walked
off
away.
emotion, probably. Yep.
Oh, of course, it's always part of it.
Yeah.
But that's why I've never retired in the cage because, like I said, I have fought in what 3-4 years, but I still got one left. But
Yep. Always, always,
oh,
always.
we'll talk about that a little later. But Marty Davis, absolute dog. When I think about Marty Davis, I think about the Juggernaut from Marvel Comics. This guy will come forward,
Well,
slam you on your head,
he's 6'4".
throwing
Yeah.
power punches. If he gets you down, you better get up. You better cover up because he is throwing hammers from the top. Marty Davis is a dog. He is always going for the kill, always trying to finish the fight. This fight has fireworks written all over it because
Well,
you have two high octane power athletes coming at each other, not looking to finesse it, looking to smash it.
but even with the height difference, Trisell's only 5'6" and Marty is 6'4". Oh, I'm sorry, that's the record. My apologies. They're both fighting at 170. I was
Yeah,
looking at their height.
but they're both pretty close. I think they're both around like that 5'11", 6 foot mark. Like neither
Right.
of those guys are small. Like this is two juggernauts butting head. Like
And
this
you think
fight is
it's
going
the
to be
fight of the night?
fireworks. The
Yeah.
first guy to get a takedown or the first guy to get a good shot is gonna start smashing, and then it's just gonna.
Are they all 3 rounds? Are they all 3 round fights?
Most of them are except for the title fights.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
that'll be one to look for. And Cage Titans, if you want to watch their fight, can you order it or is it
Yeah,
on their
it's
website?
you could see it on my tagline. You go to Spectation Sports and you can
Okay.
stream the pay-per-view. Everyone out there,
I'll put it in the notes. Yeah.
if you decide to stream Cage Titans tonight, put in for your promo code PENA, PENA. So my guy, Luis Violent Bob Ross Pena, when you do that, the fighter that you put in will get a percentage of your purchase
All
towards
right.
like as
Well,
a
then
bonus.
I'll have to make sure to put this up fast so it'll be up on Facebook and you can share it. And hopefully, we'll get Luis some extra money. The
Absolutely.
next fight on the card, we talked about Tom Santos. He's 12-14. He's fighting Don Shanis, who's 14-7. This is another catchweight fight. Tyler, why have there been 2 or 3 catchweight fights so far? Is it just because they
I'll tell you
can't make
exactly why
weights,
right
or
now. I'll tell you
yeah?
exactly why right now. Maybe one guy fights at 55, maybe one guy fights at 45. That's the first thing. Second thing, these fights aren't so much, especially okay. So Don Sheamus is he's fought in the UFC. He's trying to get back to UFC.
Yep.
So when he fights I believe at 45 in the UFC. So when you have to make that cut down to 45, Don, I don't know what he walks around at. We're not as close as we used to be. Because the coaching staff is fucking bullshit. Excuse my French. But
But he'll take the fight with a weight class up.
like long story short, when you don't have to cut as much weight, it's a lot easier on your body. So
Right.
and like maybe the other guy, you say he's 12-14. He's a bit of a journeyman. He
Out of
probably doesn't want to put
Kaizen TST, his team.
I have no idea. But like what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, it's a lot easier to get a guy off the couch or
Right.
off whatever, off the booze, whatever. You don't have to lose as much weight. Makes it a
Right.
lot
Right.
easier for the fights. And honestly, it's good for the career longevity of the fighters. Don wins this fight, wins his next fight. He goes back to the UFC, goes to PFL. He's
Wow.
fighting in the UFC or PFL. Most likely, it'll be easier on his body if he has to keep cutting the 45 every time. And having him at a bigger show does nothing but reflect positively on Cage Titans. And that's
Was
kind of where everyone's
uh,
coming.
was he cut from UFC or his contract was
I
not
believe
renewed?
he was cut from UFC. I believe he went 1-2 or 0-2 in the
Gotcha.
UFC. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on this. I'm not
Right.
trying to throw shade on anybody, but yeah, I believe his record was like 1-2 or 0-2 in the UFC. I'm not sure, but yeah.
All right. All right. Well, this is the next big fight that I know you're excited for. Your boy Luis Pena
Finally, Bob Ross.
and against Zach Dis
Di
Sabatino.
Sabatino.
Zach DeSabatino. You're gonna have to teach me pronunciation skills,
Holy
Tyler.
shit.
Luis is 12-7 out of Pena MMA. And Zach is again from SSF
South
team.
Shore Sport Fighting.
Yeah, SSF. They're very popular. Apparently, they've got several fighters on this card.
Yeah, they are.
And it's a lightweight fight. They're at 155. What do you like here? I mean, it seems like a good
y'all
battle.
know what I like. So, long story short, Luis coming off a tough fight where he, you know, got decisioned out by a lay and pray wrestler that could do nothing but lay and pray on him. So now, fight
Did you just say lay and pray on him?
That's all his last opponent did. It took him down and like just held him. He wasn't trying to finish the fight. He wasn't going for submissions. He just held him there because that was all he had.
That was all you could do.
No, it's a thing in MMA.
Lay and pray.
Lay and pray. That's
I
all
love
he
it.
did because he didn't try to finish the fight and he wanted no part of Luis on the feet. So this fight, very interesting. They're both like I can't say enough good things about Zach, but Luis is such a wild card for him. The biggest thing for me here is Luis is far superior as a striker, and they're both lefties, so it's a different kind of game.
They're both southpaws.
They're
Okay.
both southpaws, yes. So I'm really expecting Zach to try to close that distance and put Luis on the ground, which the whole other nightmare for him. Zach's got good jujitsu, but so when guys can wrestle, and I consider myself this, you can be a shitty wrestler but still be good at MMA wrestling.
Correct.
I'm a shitty wrestler that was good at MMA wrestling.
Right.
That's what Zach is. His wrestling is, I'm not gonna say shitty, probably like
above average, good.
Yeah, like I give him more credit than I give myself.
Yeah.
But he's not a classically trained wrestler. Luis is a classically trained wrestler, and he has very unorthodox submissions from both the top and the bottom. So
I like his hair too. He's got dreads.
Dude,
yeah.
Bro, he used to have like an afro, and that's when the Violent Bob Ross thing started.
Yeah.
And everything just migrated down. Now it's got dreads down to like here, dude.
Now let me ask you this: it says, Team Pena MMA, but obviously you're involved with him with Crown Sports and Entertainment, correct?
Like the team is just like that's the fight team he fights out of.
Okay.
I forget the name of his gym in Arkansas. It escapes me right now, but it's a lot easier to just say Team Pena because unlike a lot of fighters on this card, Luis has a lot of name recognition, so we really have to take advantage of that.
And okay, so he trains with his team, and then you represent him elsewhere as far as getting fights and
Crown Sports Entertainment until I open my gym is just a representation, a consulting and athlete representation firm.
Got you. In the semi-main event, it's a bantamweight fight. Chris Motino. Yes, he's 13-6, and I love the team. The Northeast Cartel. Is that what the team name is? Any cartel?
No.
New England Cartel.
Called New England Cartel. Shout out Kelvin Cater. Shout out Tyson Chartier.
Yeah.
New England Cartel is one of the more elite teams here in New England. It's run by Tyson Chartier, who is actually a former fighter at Sehiotong. He built his own representation firm, built his own team. He represents UFC fighters Calvin Cater and Rob Font, and has a plethora of promising young fighters here in the Northeast scene. One of them being Chris Motino. Chris Motino actually fought Sean O'Malley on short notice. Didn't get knocked cold, but got his face a little changed. Again, UFC veteran, hell of a fighter, and he's fighting an absolute legend and a dog here in Johnny Cupcakes Campbell, the Cage Titans commentator. Mr. Cage Titans is one of his nicknames.
Cupcake.
Oh, dude, he comes out to "I Want the Cake." The Cliff Royal Hall goes effing insane. This
Yeah.
fight, like honestly, Johnny is getting a little older there, but tremendous athlete, unorthodox technique, tremendous submission skills, and an absolute dog. Chris Motino,
He's got
toughness,
cauliflower ear really bad.
dude. Toughness. Okay, Chris Motino, toughness for days. Really grew from his first stint in the UFC.
Oh,
This
okay. He
is
was in UFC.
Yeah, this is such like this to me is a really pick 'em fight. Like Cupcake's been up and down his last several
Yeah.
fights,
Yeah,
but
22 and 16 overall.
like if a dialed in, determined Cupcakes comes, he's a problem for anyone at that weight class. Chris Botino, bro, you better bring a sledgehammer with you. Hit that kid in the head with, because he's got a chin made of effing marble and granite, dude. He's an
Wow.
absolute beast.
A
Very
hard
skillful
chin.
fighter. Former used to fight at Regiment Training Center with my boy Jorgen De Castro. Um, very tactical, strong, determined. Honestly, this is such a hard fight for me to pick. Like I love both these guys. They're both tremendous fighters. But I tend to lean towards Motino because he gets this win. Most likely he's going back to the UFC.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with the veteran here. I think Johnny Campbell puts it
Dude.
together.
And like honestly, you know me,
And
I love talk ass, but
you
that's not a
said that
bad
he's
pick.
got a chin of
Not
granite, so I take the chin of granite.
we'll see. Like
That's
on
why.
the like I would go with Motino, like just based on the numbers, but dude, if Johnny throws a lot of unorthodox technique, I'm not gonna if Johnny could turn a spinning back fist and crack Motino on the chin, like if Motino doesn't mind his P's and Q's, there's a really good chance that Johnny could catch him and put him out.
Okay, that brings us to the main event, the pro heavyweight title fight
Banger!
for Cage Titans Fighting Championship 68, the last one of 2024. A man you just mentioned, Jorgen De Castro
The
from
Mad Titan Jorgen De Castro.
the Regime NT
Regiment Training
team.
Center.
Regimen Training Center. Regimen Training Center. He's 11 and 6 against this interested me. Joshua Marsh, who's Joshua, who's 7 and 6 overall. He's out of the Carlson Gracie team. It just seems like a 11 and 6 fighter against a 7 and 6 fighter would not be a fair matchup, but you obviously would see it differently.
Let me break all this down. So, Joshua Marsh, he's another guy, and I mentioned it earlier with Jacobo. He has not taken easy fights. He is a dog, and he fights anybody. So he's lost a couple fights. One person he's never lost to and has taken a dump in his eyeball both times he's fought him was our good friend, Gynecomastist Skullet, Ross Hilton. Joshua took the Cage Titans Heavyweight Championship from Gynecomastist Skullet, Ross Hilton, by knocking him out and shattering and caving in his face, breaking his orbital bone. The last fight, he took him down and smashed him out. So, Joshua finally got an easy fight when he fought Ross. So with that being said, Joshua didn't have the hardest route to the Cage Titans Heavyweight Championship. Now, Jorgen, the Mad Titan de Castro, former training partner of mine, absolute stud. He had to cut weight to make 265. Like we were like at Wayne's yesterday, like fooling around. He was just like, give me one of these. Like I was kind of like off balance. And he like gave me one of those, and I'm like flying off the bench. Like I'm like, bro, like what the f have you been eating? Like
Yeah.
he's a he's thick. He's a beast. He's only like 5'11", 6 foot, but he understands angles and he hits. And speaking from experience, and he was being nice to me. Hits like an absolute Mack truck. They put his first hit in UFC. He was on Contender Series, won that fight by knockout or TKO. So they brought him in. His first fight in UFC was on a main card in Sydney, Australia versus Justin Taffa, a local Australian fighter. And Jorgen walk off knocked out, put the guy limp, cold, face down on the canvas, doing a walk. Like he was brought in to lose to this guy and like make the Australian local look good. And Jorgen just smashed the dude. Jorgen's fought Greg Hardy. Jorgen, after he got cut from the UFC, has sit in the PFL, went 500, pretty good showing, but fought some of the top guys in the world, guys that I know personally, actually. And, his contract was renewed. So he's been free of PFL, he has won every title in New England. He is
Oh,
now the New England
wow.
fight. So he's a CES heavyweight champion. He's the New England Fights heavyweight champion. Quick side note there have been two heavyweight champions in the history of New England Fights. Jorgen DeCastro and Tyler King.
And Tyler King. I
That's
know. I
right.
know. I know.
So
And I have
now
to
he's
remark, you
what?
have very nice eyes. I never noticed that.
Oh, thank you.
You have beautiful blue eyes. I never knew you
Thank
had
you.
blue eyes.
Well, they're blue and green. They're going a little more blue right now
Oh, they're
because
hazel.
I'm
Yeah. Okay.
when I'm like in danger mode combat, like my eyes will get way more blue.
They do.
Um,
They change. Like
yeah, they change. Like
that's crazy.
they're usually more green, but like
Yeah.
I'm getting close. Like
You're getting in the
this is the
fight
first
mode.
time I've ever been seen in public. The damn
Yeah.
like it is weird for me. I'm
Yeah.
like when my guys are fighting, I
You're
fake
more
it really
nervous.
well, but
Yeah.
like I feel some kind of way more so than when I was fighting on a
Yeah.
regular
Of course
basis.
you do. It's the same thing,
So like
when I was
it's actually
coaching.
good to know if my eyes are like doing the thing. Like
Yeah, your eyes look
that's
good.
a really
Your
good
eyes look
sign
good.
I'm dialed in.
You're
Um
you are dialed in. You are
um
dialed in. I
so
like it.
like all that being said, Jorgen is an A plus. Like he's the top of the food chain heavyweight. Joshua Marsh, I've seen him fight personally twice. That he can fight. He can fight. He has good striking and solid brown belt skills from a really good association as far as jiu-jitsu goes. I
Got
think
you.
he's gonna have excuse me. He's gonna have a really hard time taking Jorgen down. Jorgen's jiu-jitsu, speaking from experience, has improved greatly since he started fighting professionally. I
Now,
think
Tyler, let me ask you this.
okay.
How much do these fighters, would you say, get paid on these cards?
Oh, for this card,
Yeah. Is it a set amount for each fighter, or it's based
it
on your
all
placement
varies.
on the card?
Um, Most likely, I know what Luis is getting paid.
Okay.
He's with another. Luis is under contract with a larger conglomerate that
Right.
streams fights. Like
Right.
we're not exclusive with Cage Fights. We're exclusive with their broadcast partner, Expectation Sports. So
Right.
Expectation put us on a card in Knoxville, Tennessee, and then it just lined up. Cage Titans is part of Expectations Network, and obviously I know Mike Polvera at Cage Titans very well, so
Yes.
I obviously facilitated everything. But we're getting paid. If a guy's a bigger name, I think most
In-
likely Jorgen and Luis are getting paid close to the same thing, which
Okay.
is pretty damn good. Like for a
Okay.
local
So they
fight,
they, they
they're getting paid
negotiated.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting
Okay.
pretty damn good right now.
Okay. Well, that was a great analysis, and we are going to move on.
No, we're not gonna move on. We're gonna talk about Jorgen and Joshua. Jorgen,
Well, yeah.
most likely, Joshua's gonna try to take him down. Um, Joshua's a really good boxer, but if this ends up as a striking contest, Jorgen's gonna
Yeah,
put it away.
Jorgen looks like he looks like Ortiz almost.
Who?
Tito Ortiz. No.
Jorgen does not take that back. Jorgen does not look retarded. Jorgen does not look like he has Down syndrome. Take that back.
Well, the guy that played in the A team, he played BA in the A team.
You're talking about freaking Quentin Rampage Jackson.
He looks like Rampage. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'll
He looks
take
like
that.
Rampage.
Yeah, dude.
He looks like Rampage.
Like everyone says, hey, everyone out there, radio, excuse my French. Everyone's like, Rampage has the craziest retard strength of anyone ever. Like everyone says that. Speaking from experience, Jorgen has crazy both punch power and retard strength. Like back when
That's a good way to put it.
dude, he is so like yes, like I said yesterday, I was sitting on the edge, like we're on a bench kind of thing. And I'm sitting on the edge, and he just like gives me like one of these, like, hey, and I'm like, bro, like, and I like fell over. I had to like get up off the ground. I'm like, dude, what the
He knocked the hell out of you.
He's like, bro, he's got a thick Portuguese accent. He's from Cape Verde. He's like, bro, you getting skinny. Like, what are you getting so skinny for? You guys are eating more. I'm like, I mean, you're right, Jorgen, but Jesus Christ, you're strong, bro. Like, I'm 235, 240. Like, I'm not a small guy.
No, but I know you're not 265 like you're 270 like you used to be. So I get that, but you look a lot better and you're healthier. So that's good. So your official pick for the fight would be Jorgen.
Oh, hell yeah. Jorgen Castro and new. Joshua, I appreciate you breaking Ross Hilton's face. The guy scratched his skullet, needed an attitude adjustment. You gave it to him. I mean, I'll give him his final one, and we might find out about that tonight. But yeah, Jorgen Castro all day.
All right. So now we're going to move on to PFL, who have just announced their finals for the season, the championship. It's not going to be in January. It's going to be November 29th in Saudi Arabia. And it's all championship fights. So we're going to run through this card just briefly, and we'll do it in more deeper analysis as it approaches. But it's a little strange how they have it set up, which I had wondered about. But we'll start where they have it. Apparently the openers, the heavyweight championship, it's going to be Goltslav versus Popov is the matchup. And we followed both of them. They were undefeated during the PFL season, both going 3-0. Popov is 19-1-0, and Dennis is 35-8-0. Dennis is 6'5" and 247.5, and Oleg is 247 as well, and they're both fighting out of Russia.
Wait, say the last names. I always think about. I think about these Baltic Russian fighters.
Yes.
I think last name. So, which
Popov and Goltsov.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's what I thought it was. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
what's Popov's record again?
He's 19-1, and he was 3-0 this season.
What's Goldslav's again?
They're both 3-0. They're both 3-0.
No. What's the overall record?
He's 35-8, and Popov's 19-1 overall. But Goldslav is 6'5", 247. Popov 6'1", 247. But the reach is just about the same. Goltslav has only got a 78-inch reach compared to a 77-inch reach for Popov. So you would expect it to be a little bit longer, but it's not. Popov had been on a tear. I remember when we were going through the summer season, and I would definitely, as a novice, go with him picking up the championship. Now I don't know how that. I believe what they're going to do is the winner of this is going to take on Nagano.
Oh God! Okay. Well,
in the February super fight that they have.
Like, here's my thing about that. So they say in both weightlifting, mixed martial arts, physical fitness, and football, when you conquer a great challenge, what's your reward? An even greater challenge. So
right.
Now,
but I don't think this is going to be a greater challenge for Nagano. It is?
No, for Goltslav and Popov.
Yes, yes. You're right. Yes. For them, yes. It'll be an even greater challenge. Yes.
I think it'll be a bigger challenge for Francis than his last fight. His last fight, like,
really? Well, yeah, he won in dominating fashion in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And that guy was. So there's a term I use it with physical fitness, training, jiu-jitsu, MMA. Big for no reason. Some people them, and they're just big for no reason. So I forget his one's name.
Ferrara, yeah, the 6'8" guy.
He was kind of big for no reason. Like, he was like.
Well, he got taken down, which nobody expected. I never expected him to get taken down.
He was competent as far as everything in mixed martial arts, but he was kind of big for no reason. So, like, some of the guys from last season, like, the quality of fighter from last season to this season to last season is pretty stark, in my opinion. Like,
PFL's done a nice job. I really do.
The work behind the scenes overall, and B, once Francis came in, like, everyone, like, the level of talent just rose.
Skyrocketed, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this will be a much tougher fight, but Ferreira, however you say his name in a Portuguese manner,
right?
He was kind of big for no reason.
Yeah, he was just big to be big.
He wasn't super skillful. Like, you look at a guy like Fabricio Verdum. He was, like, later in his career, one of the all-time greats. Early on, he was thought of as a jiu-jitsu guy. Ferreira's just not even thought of as a jiu-jitsu guy. He's just a big guy that can fight pretty well in all areas. He doesn't have, like, a thing that he's good at. He's just kind of decent at most stuff and big for no reason. So
you're going with Popov for this fight?
Which one? Who has the bigger record?
Popov is 19-1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm going with Popov. Yes.
I'm going with Popov too. That's the heavyweight championship. Yeah. The light weight championship is next, and I believe it is Primus. It is Brent Primus, who is 15-3-0. He was also 3-0 on the PFL season versus the guy's name I can't say, Gadzi Rabadanov, who is also 3-0. Overall records: Primus is 15-3-0, and Gadzi is 23-4-2. And it's for the lightweight championship at 155. I believe that I can't remember if you liked Brett Primus or Primus cost you a fight. Primus. Yes, you liked him. Okay.
No. Who was he fighting? Because he beat the guy I picked. He was fighting like a name.
Yeah, he cost you. That's what it was. I know he cost you a fight. with betting on during one of the matchups during the season.
I'm trying to remember who he fought though. It was
I'll look it up.
It wasn't Eddie Alvarez. It was someone that fought Eddie Alvarez just like he had, I believe.
Yeah, I'll look up his bio, but I remember because he cost you and you were not happy about it, and but you were a fan. You were a fan, but
I thought his activity and his age would have caught up to him. That was kind of my thinking, but hey, age is number. He's honestly guys that fight. Go ahead, sorry.
He fought Collard. I don't know if that was the guy you picked.
Yeah.
Okay.
My thing
Collard was the guy.
Clay Collard was like he had a higher, big harder. I'll say I forget. I'll use the football term harder strength of schedule. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he fought better competition. I got you.
Exactly. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And I was looking at Brett Primus's age and okay, he had been through wars with Eddie Alvarez and another one of Bellator's longtime big name lightweight champions. So I was like, hey, maybe he'll catch up. I think it's about that time. Clay Collard's a bigger name. Clay Collard's fought better competition. And Brent Primus said, hey, Tyler King. Cool story.
I'm taking your money. Yeah.
So what I took from that is Brent.
Well, he's only had 18 fights, so despite his age, 18 fights isn't that much, right?
The thing I take from it is Brent Primus is just one of those freaks.
Okay, so
you would get those guys where age isn't a factor, they're just freaks, and Brent Primus is one of those guys.
Would you take him? Are you picking him over Godzi, who's also 3-0, 24-2?
Brent Primus, yes.
All right, I like it. The next matchup is the welterweight championship, which is Magomed Umalatov versus Shamil Musav. We've talked about both pretty extensively. They are both Russians, I believe. They're both 3-0 on the season.
What made you think of that?
Yeah. and they're both undefeated. They're both, Magomed 17-0 and Shamil's 19-0. So this could be the fight of the night for this card. You got two undefeated Russians battling it out.
Absolutely.
And I know that you had really liked Magomed. Do you see him being victorious here? Do you see it going 3 rounds?
These fights aren't
3 rounds. They're 5 rounds. Sorry, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going Magomed. I've just been super impressed with his performance along the arc of the season, and I don't think he won any fights. I think where all his fights finishes are of this season.
I will check that right now.
I believe they're all finishes or unanimous decisions.
Magomed, he was 3-0, and his results. View event results. He defeated Gracie.
I forgot about. Yeah.
He defeated Gracie, and that was decision, like you said. He beat Gracie by decision, and then he beat Ward in June. And let me check that.
This is middleweight. Is this welterweight, right?
It's welterweight, yeah. And he beat he beat Ward by submission.
Yeah.
So then
you're refreshing my memory very well right now, dude.
And then then his first fight in April was against a guy, I can't pronounce his name. Um, he ended up, he was the main event, and he won by decision. So 2 of the 3 fights were won by decision. You are correct.
But unanimous decision, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So very dominating wrestler, obviously. Um, I actually I remember the fight versus Brennan Ward. I was very like I Brennan Ward's a local guy from Connecticut. One like objectively one of my favorite fighters of all time, and the fact that this dude beat Brennan down so hard, like this guy, he is going to win the he'll win the tournament, like
Yeah.
no questions.
He'll be the
Like
champion.
the thing about it was that was Brennan's big comeback fight. I think he had a fight before that as well, where he looked amazing.
Correct.
And yeah, like the fact he could shut down and like I know Brennan. Brennan is an absolute savage, tremendous athlete. Like one thing I talk about with fighters, and it's one of the reasons I F with Ozzy so hard. Besides the fact he's a great human, great guy, all that. That it factor. Certain guys have it.
Oh,
And
of course. Yes.
Ozzy has it in spades. Luis has it in spades.
Right.
Brennan as well. Brennan has it. The problem is Magomed. Sorry if I said that wrong, but Magomed has it more than anyone in that division in PFL. Magomed all day.
All right. So quickly, we got to finish up here. We got the light heavyweight championship, Impa versus Dovaletsson Yagomurov. They're both 3-0, and I know you're a fan of Impa. 18-4, 27-4 for the 24-7 for the other guy for the light heavyweight championship.
Yep.
Do you like Impa here?
Oh, Impa all day. Impa all day.
Impa all day. And the matchup.
Thing is, like, another thing PFL's done, identified undefeated fighters that have a lot of potential and done a good job with matchmaking, both testing them, but not being dumb about it. Like not giving like guys that like giving them good matchups, but not putting like a world class wrestler against a kickboxer with a little bit of like stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've done a real good job with the matchmaking and they've kept it pretty balanced. But yeah, like this like they've done a great job building guys like Impa is my point. And yeah, like I'm gonna be saying Impa all the way because guy is again another guy with it.
He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next matchup we have talked about because we like both fighters, and it's the semi-main event, women's flyweight championship. It is Dakota Decheva versus Talia Santos. Both 3-0. Dakota's 13-0. Like you said, she could be the next superstar, the new face of PFL. Santos is 22-3, and they are both 125.
Let me throw in a zin for this one. Remember when I said earlier that PFL's doing a great job of people?
Yes. Yeah, they've done a great job with Dakota.
Dude, with Talia too. Like, here's the thing.
No, you're right. Yes, they have.
Here's the thing about this. Like, I think, like, if you're just like looking at everything objectively, the fighter with probably, and I'm not like, this is not like a knock on Talia, but like as far as like star power and like marketability, like Dakota is an effing gold mine. She's well spoken. She's beautiful. She's a family person. Like when they ask her about like her training, they like one of the first things she always says is like my brothers. Like I turn my brothers or like my coaches. Like I have like it's so great being able to like hang out with my family and like do what I love. Everything about her just screams like cha-ching. And like as far like for me, and like I'm one of these purist type guys. Not so much as like some of these like some people are like huddy tidy about like MMA and everything, but so I'm a bit of a purist. That girl has she checks all the boxes. She
Right.
has look, she can talk, she's like goddamn.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I hear you.
at the end of the day, she could throw down on such an elite level. Like she is the total package. She is going to be famous. She's going to make an F ton of money in this sport.
Right.
But then,
Right.
as the counterpart, you have Talia Santos, amazing athlete,
Yeah.
amazing striking, great submissions, good job getting up from the bottom. Also, effing beautiful. Like
Yep. Yep.
PFL,
Great
I
matchup.
think they put these two on opposite sides of the bracket, and they were like saying,
They
like,
were hoping for this
I
matchup.
hope these
Yeah.
two make it to the finals,
And
and
they
they
got their
did.
wish. Yeah.
Props to Ray Sappho. Props to what's our friend's name?
Jim Tucker. Jim Tucker. We
Jim
love you, Jim
Tucker.
Tucker.
Props,
Yeah.
props to everyone at PFL. Tremendous job putting this
Yeah.
tournament together, and
Yeah.
I'm glad. Like, I'm glad this fight came up for this because I think they're both going to be stars. The winner of this fight is going to skyrocket to
Yeah.
stardom.
I'm going with Dakota. I think Dakota's going to win.
Yeah, me too.
I
Hey,
agree. All right.
Dakota.
I know she's going to call you.
No, Dakota. At Tyler King 52.
Yeah, she'll call you.
All my contact information is in the show notes.
Yes. 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 We'll make sure.
I don't
We'll
care.
make sure.
Just like my Instagram stories a couple times. Don't
Yes,
worry, it does.
she'll do that. And then finally, quickly, the featherweight championship is the main event. Brendan Loughnane is fighting Tamir. Tamur. They're both 3-0. Loughnane's 30-5. Tamur is undefeated, 17-0. Quickly, who do you like here?
Like I'm leaning towards Shamir.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing.
I don't like the British, so I'm going with Tamir.
There's veterans and there's veterans. Tamir is a veteran. His opponent is a veteran.
Right.
But like you said, I see Tamir as more the complete fighter, whereas his opponent, British. But then again, I talk shit about talked S about British and their
Yes, you have.
But what was I'm sorry, its last name escapes me right now.
What? Which one? Tamir?
Tamir, the other guy.
Brendan Loughnane.
Yeah. Like I talk as specifically on Laughlin's grappling and being British. Then he put on grappling clinic.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, exactly. So he's proven himself in the grappling realm, but I just think Tamir is more overpowering.
Yeah,
it's going to be more of a complete fighter, so I'm going Tamir.
I'm going with Tamir too. We have to thank our sponsors at the 42nd Brew Co. 42nd Brew Co. They offer a variety of pilsners, IPAs, and lagers. Owner, former teammate, friend Steve Darby. They are in Kingston, Massachusetts, and they are also a sponsor of Cage Titans MMA. Check them out, and we will get this podcast up ASAP. So you have Tyler's predictions. And for Tyler King,
everybody, just so you know, tonight, Cage Titans will be live on the BetMGM app. So
the BetMGM app, okay.
The BetMGM app. So take my predictions.
Yes, make some money. Make some money.
Make some money, y'all. Parlay all my predictions.
I agree. Tyler King, all he does is train, teach class, and he beats that ass. And for myself, Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe, this has been 97.9 Unity Radio, Husky Talk, the MMA Report. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges